This man is looking to become the best middleweight in all of Australia, and you'll find out June 21st.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event.
Live from HBF Stadium Festival Hall. Melbourne Pavilion.
Not even backstage, we're literally outside.
Was that the best fight card in Australian MMA history?
Call me crazy, but make sure you call me when I'm right.
Be good if the Aussie MMA Instagram page would give us a bit of glow up because...
Welcome to the Australian MMA podcast. My name is Mitch Tinley, and today's guest, another good friend of the show, Blair Bretag. He's taking on Darcy Vendy for the Eternal MMA middleweight championship. Now, Blair trains out of Team Compton, which is coached by the well-renowned Steve Compton and, of course, Elliot Compton, who's a really acclaimed Muay Thai fighter, and the MMA guys at Team Compton are pretty incredible. Stewie Nicol, Tom Nolan, UFC fighters, John Martin Fraser, multiple-time Australian champion, and very well could be in the UFC as well. Dave Martinez spends a lot of time there, best lightweight, middleweight, whatever welterweight, sorry, probably middleweight, whatever he wants to do or eat. Come fight week, Dave Martinez could be one of the best we've ever had. And they all train at Team Compton. Absolute studs. Of course, Don Marfan, who just dominated at Road to UFC and will probably get his chance in the UFC. So, look, a talent-rich Team Compton, and also shout out to young up-and-coming Aiden Gould. He's a bit of a stud too. So Blair Bretag is taking on Darcy Vendy, who was my pick essentially to get signed to Dana White Contender Series. I did not even think we'd see him fight again in Australia after his John Martin Fraser bout. But look, we see him here, and maybe he needs more fights. Who knows? But if he takes out Blair Bretag, he's like first ballot Dana White Contender Series. I don't see how you don't give Darcy an opportunity, because Blair Bretag is that good. That goes down June 21st, Eternal MMA 96. It is on UFC Fight Pass. I think it's like 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Just go to UFC Fight Pass or follow Eternal MMA. Now, before we move on to our chat with Blair Bretag, who talks about his business, talks about sort of his road to fighting. He was actually even nearly a Brisbane Lions player in the AFL. There you go. I'm not lying there. You'll find out a little bit more about that. But we chat to Blair Bretag, some few things I didn't know. Very excited for this chat, as he is just always very... He's one of the intellectuals when it comes to mixed martial arts, which is why I'm looking forward to this fight as well. It's going to be an absolute burner. Shout out to our partners, Vex MMA, Combat Sports Insurance, and of course, Drillich Combat Academy, our gym partner. And Australian MMA Issue 1, release date June 18th. It's coming up very soon. Pre-orders are available now. Go to shop.australianmma.com.au. All your proceeds go towards helping the show and a little bit to Quillen and other people. But guys, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, he's fighting for the Eternal MMA Middleweight Championship against Darcy Vendy. June 21st, UFC Fight Pass. It's Blair Bretag. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. The man who just rocks up whenever he wants because he's a championship fighter now. It's Blair Bretag. Mate, welcome.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for that. You've had 5 minutes to think of that one.
It was more like 7. No, I like it, but do you feel like a big dog now?
Well, if you asked me, I've always felt like a big dog, so nothing's really changed. No, mate, it just feels like a natural progression. I'm just at the top of the pack now, so it's my time to step up to it.
Middleweight's fucking weird. Like, you're like one fight away from a title at all times.
Yeah, it's pretty much been like that the whole time. And it's always the same top guys fighting for the belt over the last 2 years anyway, so yeah.
I like it. It's got that a couple of years ago when it was like Hooker, Poirier, like in the lightweight, where it was just like one of them guys is going to get the other one and then he gets the shot.
Yeah.
But not light heavyweight, which apparently you just wanted to muck around at.
It's just I was just trying new things.
How did you like that compared to obviously now coming back to middleweight?
It was good. Like, obviously not cutting as much weight, eating a lot more food for a whole camp, and just felt strong as hell at that weight as well. Like, just being as fast and as athletic as normal, but just with a little bit more weight behind me felt incredible. It felt very dangerous, but definitely not a natural light heavyweight. Some of those guys are walking over 100 kilos on a bad day. So, yeah, it's definitely not the weight division that I'm most prominent at. So I'm where I need to be and where I got to be for this fight.
I guess that kind of answers that question. Then I was going to ask you if there was a deeper light heavyweight division, would you spend more time there, or do you think middleweight's up where it's at?
Yeah, honestly, the reason that I went up to light heavyweight was after that Cam Raston fight. I think from memory, Johnny and Darcy were booked. I knew Matt Myers was on the comeback as well. And I could see the top bunch of guys. I just fought Cam Raston getting clogged up, and there was at least a 6-month wait before I was going to fight one of the top guys, right? I know there's a few guys coming through just below me that are one fight off that kind of same rack there, but if I was trying to get to the top level and fight the top guys, I was going to be having to wait a period of time. So the opportunity to go light heavyweight came up. So instead of staying stagnant and just kind of fucking around for a bit, I decided to get back in there and have a light heavyweight fight. And that opportunity to jump between the two keeps me active and keeps that goal kind of alive.
How much did you think about pushing for maybe another opponent, but then a light heavyweight title?
Well, I called it out at that Sydney card. I called out the light heavyweight title. I think there's just no one really around.
Can you name one?
Can I name one, a light heavyweight?
Yeah.
Well, no, I can't. Me, Luke Stockman and myself.
There's literally no one else, is there?
No. So, like, if I was going to stay there for a title fight, like, do they fly an international in? Do we call up someone New Zealand as well? There's a few guys there that I don't know if they're still active or they're still wanting to be there, but at the same time, they've got to be part of the Eternal roster. They've got to be coming off a win. Like, you got so many things stacked up against 4 dudes in the division.
And then obviously John Martin Fraser going down, did that impact it at all, or like kind of where he sits? Has it impacted you?
I guess him losing makes Darcy the champion and makes that pathway available for me. I've never sat here thinking, oh yeah, I'm fighting to get to the Eternal belt. Like, I know what my ultimate goal is, and that's to get on the international stage and become a great fighter internationally. If that means collecting the Eternal belt on the way, then 100%, yeah, we'll go for it. But for the 18 months leading up to this point, Johnny Boy has been in a position to either have the belt or fight for the belt. Now that he's not there, yeah, it's just another step for me to kind of step into.
I guess it's weird too, because your two teammates, Stewie Nickel, never went Eternal, and Tom Nolan went, fuck your belt, and went straight to the UFC. So you're like, hey.
Yeah, there's definitely options around it. I knew I wanted to stay with Eternal and just fight the top guys, and that's what I mean. Like, let's say the Cam Raston ended up fighting the belt, or there's a few other people fighting for the belt. I still wanted to fight the top guys in the division, test myself, and make sure that I'm ready to take that next step. If and when it come calling. So yeah, it just means we get a shot at the title now.
Does it make you feel any better that Raston beat you and that is deemed a worthy victory, that he gets another shot in the Contender Series?
I've never thought of it until right now.
Because if you're a pleb, they wouldn't, you know what I mean? He'd have to win maybe 10 more in a row, but it's like,
for sure. Yeah, I think with me in the equation, he's done enough to get that second shot. Like, he had 3 really good victories leading up to the selection period, so he did everything he needed to get another shot. So I think I made a post about it congratulating him. It's where he wanted to be, and he worked his ass off to get there, so good on him. It's good to see another local guy get there.
Did you take the advice that everyone gave you about your grappling in your DMs and comments?
We'll find out next week, hey? Yeah, we'll find out next week, because my guess is Darcy's going to want to grapple a little bit, so I guess we'll find out next week.
You reckon? You reckon he's not going to want to strike?
I think he takes it wherever he wants to, but yeah, if you were up against me, Mitch, what would you try and do?
I can shoot the double.
Jab shoot.
Jab shoot. What's your thoughts on Darcy? I know that for a couple of years he wasn't everyone's favorite friend, but what's your thoughts on him as the guy and him as the fighter?
Him as a guy, like I said in past interviews, I got nothing but respect for him. He's always come and had a chat to me at fight shows, even when fighting his teammates, Nick Kepu, and crossing paths at different Eternals. Have always had a chat and said, hey, so there's no, from my end, there's no bad blood. There's no don't really know him to kind of have a bad name, but yeah, seems nice outside the cage. As a fighter, he's been around for ages. He's done some great things in the cage as well for some great people, and he's very talented in there. So I think he's going to bring a lot of things that I haven't faced yet in the cage, but also I'm going to pose a big problem for him and try and get in his way before he makes that next stage. So.
Do you think he swung his sort of narrative over the last couple of years? Like, did you think he was this type of fighter he is now 2 years ago? Did you not sort of give him the same respect you do now?
It's hard to answer because I'm only 2 years into the sport.
Sure.
So, like, in my first year, I knew who he was. I knew kind of roughly who people were, but I couldn't have a strong opinion on anyone because hadn't engaged with them personally, and I hadn't seen their fights or watched their fights enough to have a strong opinion. So, yeah, I can't really answer that. All I can say is in the last 2 years, I've watched his fights and watched his evolution in the last 2 years and seen his improvement and the things that he's added to his game. So, and that excites me to have that challenge.
I've talked to your boy, Alfred Stoddart, a fair bit about this, and I feel like going in to his career, I feel like he didn't think it was going to happen as quick as it has as well. Do you find that similar where obviously you think you're going to be good and you think you're going to be good quickly, but it does feel like guys like yourself and even him all of a sudden are the stars of the division, and 2 years ago you like weren't even around.
Yeah, like it's a quick rise to the top of the ranks. Yeah, for sure. Especially, and I feel like that's a new thing, not just a middleweight, but a lot of the divisions. You look at a few years ago, you're watching just throw out some older names: Jack Becker, Johnny Martin Fraser, David Martinez. Look at how many fights they've got on their records, and they're the top guys fighting for belts. You go the last 18 months alone, you got fight guys. Look at the weekend coming. Look at the title fight. Look at their record. Like, I feel like in the last 2 years, there's been a shift of passing the torch to the new generation, but maybe we're getting through the ranks faster. Maybe there's less fighters, but I still think the quality as a fighter is still there. And that's, you can see that because the guys that go to the next level, they're performing so well. So I still think the quality is there, but maybe the numbers to get to that stage aren't quite there.
Yeah, because I think Matty Ian's like 2-0, and although that feels weird to fight for a title, when you watch him fight, you go, well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah,
what's that with like your guys at the gym? Like, I mean, you got some good young fellas like Aiden Gould's doing real well. Like, are you noticing the amateurs that are coming up are just sort of a new level?
100%. Yeah, they've been doing it since they were in primary school, right? They've been doing it as kids, some sort of jiu-jitsu or something. So by the time they get to that puberty age where they start getting a little bit meaner, start training a bit harder, they get out of school, they've already had all these internal, external battles in the gym, on the mats. Like, they're coming out battle tested before they even enter the cage. So yeah, you see that every generation, and maybe that's kind of the point I was making. Like, you see these guys with 15 fights fighting for the belt, then you've got someone like George Mangos who comes in and goes 6-0, 7-0, and just absolutely wipes the floor with all the veterans and all the new guys, and you're like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, and you can't tell me that he doesn't deserve that either. Like, he's shown through. So yeah.
It's weird because like, even his teammate Marwan Rahiki is like doing it quicker than he did.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh shit, pro careers in Australia are like, you got to watch them for 9 months and they're gone.
yeah. You got to get in fast and watch your favorite fighters because, like, I guess we're fast tracked now. Like, we're showing up but also showing up to the next level as well. Once we get to that stage, I feel like more often than not, we're kind of delivering on that level. So.
Yeah, and I feel like too, the more the UFC has got, like before you had to be like Callum Potter, you had to have 30 fights before they even looked at you. Where now I feel like the UFC is like, oh, this guy's good at 2-0, and they're really having a look. Do you are you happy of when you moved into MMA, or do you wish you did it sooner?
Again, never really thought about it. You got some good questions today, Mitch. I guess you had 7 extra minutes to think about your questions today. So. Yeah, I guess there's always going to be part of you that wish you got into something earlier so you can achieve the goals that you want. But that being said, I think the age that I got into it, my maturity and approach to training has probably protected me from doing something stupid in the sport or burning out from it or everything that goes in between. I think the luxury of combat sport is your peak is 30 to 35. You go to 90% of other sports, as soon as you hit 30, you're like, right, cool. When are you fucking hanging up the gloves? Like, when are you retiring? So I think that comes from not just being like time under tension to being skillful, but the maturity to the sport, and the experience in the cage as well.
Because you look old, but you're quite young, aren't you?
I've looked like this since I was 17. So if you actually think about that, the older I get, the younger I'm looking.
What's the wear and tear on your body then? Because you did Muay Thai at a young age, didn't you?
Yeah, since 14. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's still wear and tear on your body. So even though you're still quite young, like where do you sit on like how does the body feel?
Most of my injuries, to be honest, came from when I was playing high level like AFL. I was part of the Brisbane Lions Academy growing up through school.
Yeah.
I played rugby. Yeah. I played rugby league, rugby union. I played everything. And most of my injuries come from there, like torn ligaments and ankles, broken arms, ribs. I fractured my face 3 times. Like,
I can tell.
yeah. As soon as I said that, I knew you had something to say. So most of my injuries come from playing other sports. Where you think combat sport would be the other way around. Apart from shattering my hand in the Khan Sandy fight 2 years ago, I don't really have too many big injuries. Obviously, you got natural wear and tear, like your feet, your toes all get crippled. You get sore knuckles. I've broken my nose 20 times, like shit like that. Like, it's just natural wear and tear. But yeah.
Brisbane Lions Academy for Aussie rules. Was there like 4 people in Queensland that played it, or how did you?
You're a dick. There was 6. All right, 6-man team.
Are you still into it?
No, I haven't played in years. When I moved to Brisbane in 2020, I was going to find a gym to start training at, which I found Team Compton, and 2, I was going to start playing AFL. I did both at the same time, and then I realized very quickly, because I fell in love with MMA, that it wasn't going to work. I was all in on MMA, and I was like, I'm not going to half-ass this. Like, I'm all in. So it's kind of taken a back seat, and I haven't played in years. But yeah, maybe once I hang up the gloves, I'll go to the reserve league and kick the ball around.
Yeah, it's smart. It's smart to know your limits straight away. Why do you think I went into media so quickly? I was like,
well, you definitely don't have the face for it, so I thought radio was going to be more your go. So.
I was actually. It was, yeah. But in terms of the fight, what are we expecting? Are we expecting a classic Blair Bretag, like 1.5 minutes either way?
Yeah. It's either you're going out on my shield in a minute or I'm finishing it in a minute. No, I think the evolution of my last few fights, I get it done pretty early in the fight, but I'm definitely not rushing to get that finish. I'm staying composed, and I know I'll get the job done when it's ready. So, just keep posing a problem for him until I find that opportunity to get it done. So that's all I'm expecting.
Do you buy into a little bit of the Darcy Vendy aura at all? I feel like he's just this real like beast of a man, and everyone was talking like he was going to be in the contenders, and then he's coming back for one more sort of Australian title fight. Is there any bit of you that's like, fuck, he's pretty big?
I mean, I fought Cam Rasson. He was on contenders. He's king of the ring multiple times. He's WKBC, like ADC medalist. Like I fought good guys before. Like I don't buy into that. I don't even buy into my hype. Sometimes I still think I'm a fucking like kid. That's just people just mistaken for some hectic fighter. So no, I don't buy into it too much. Look, I don't say that as in disrespecting what he can do and what he's capable of in there. But yeah, he is just another obstacle in my way to achieve my goal.
And how's the business going, mate? All the PTing, I see the YouTube channels booming. How's that all going?
It's good. Yeah, the coaching's been good. Obviously spending a lot of more time training and trying to push myself to that next level. But luckily I've got good kind of coaches that help me run the business and work with the clients that I've got. And then, spending a lot more time and money on the YouTube channel, trying to build that brand and kind of bring people along for the journey. So that's been fun. It's been posing its own challenges, but yeah, I've been loving it, to be honest.
What challenges?
Just you've just got a whole new team. Like obviously when you're posting, what are you filming? How efficient can we be? End of the day, you're funding money into something, especially like YouTube, that doesn't have dividends or returns in the short term. It's very much a plant the tree, benefit from it down the track, or start using that to what you've already got in place. So yeah, it does feel like a long-term investment, but at the same time, it's just been fun, just kind of documenting what we're like in the gym, giving people a real life perspective of all these crazy fighters we got at Compton that were just fucking idiots and fun people.
That is one of the main things I took away from you guys is you give off this like tough vibe, like everyone in there, right? But all you guys have this like real playful mentality, and you can see why you guys all get along and enjoy training. And even Steve, who looks like if you owed him money, you'd break your legs. But like Steve Compton seems like the nicest, like most jovial guy throughout the entire process.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's pretty nice. Just yeah, don't piss him off. That's my piece of advice.
Oh yeah, he gave me the stern chat in the office, and I was like, hey, is the door locked?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of it's cool to show people that side of Team Compton because you see them in all of us in the cage and what we do in the cage, and you're like, holy shit, these guys are hectic. And then you see this YouTube channel, and you're like, these guys are idiots. Like the testament that we can switch on when we need to and just get it done. But by being so kind of playful and lax in the gym in that sense, it helps us be creative and kind of grow together. But take it so seriously, you start kind of hindering yourself. Like, you want to be creative, you want to kind of learn, you let yourself experiment.
Yeah, I go on about it, but watching the way that Steve kind of implements training, I expected you guys to just fight to the death, but he's he's like, all right, 25%, all right, add elbows, 30%, and it's like, I liked how he did that, and I was like, that's a real smart man, because as you know with PTing, the trainer that smashes his client is normally an insecure trainer. And it's like the way he does that, I was like, oh, that's why he's like such a genius.
Yeah. Man, he's trained. I think the MMA community don't kind of realize who he's trained, what he's done prior this kind of generation of fighters. There's the whole other generation of fighters before this Team Compton team that you know that have gone and done some amazing things. So he's got a wealth of knowledge and experience there, and how he gets us to kind of evolve. You'll be sitting there and you'll be doing something like, oh, where are we going with this? Next minute, you're like, oh, shit, I get it now. I get it. Like, that's really, really cool. And he's continually evolving with the game and developing some great fighters. So, yeah, he's a driving force of this gym.
No, without a doubt. Now, mate, before I let you go, prediction for the fight, June 21st. How's it going down?
It's going to be another exciting fight. I've never been in a boring fight. The crowd will be up on their feet. They'll be cheering, and you'll have a new crowned middleweight champion. So that's all I'm going to tell you today. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And, yeah, I'll be on the top of the cage cheering on with you.
You better be on top of the cage. I better see you jump up on there.
I will. I got the one in Sydney. They were like 8 feet tall. They were huge.
Yeah.
Like the one in Eternal in town. So cool. The one in town in Gold Coast is only like 2 meters. The one in Sydney was like another 600 mil on top, and it was a big climb. I thought I was going to hurt myself getting down from there.
Yeah, that would be you. You would be the guy like
It
jumps off the cage and hurts his knee.
It breaks the ankle. Yeah, I thought about it. I had to get down real slow.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for the time, and best of luck.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.